All right, guys, we got a lot of stuff happening today. I'll just give you a quick update on the farm and where we're at with everything, and let you know what's going to be going on. Today, I have a guy from the Conservation Service coming out. We are going to be signing some final papers to get this waterway project started, probably in the spring. So that's going to be a pretty interesting video series. Hopefully this spring there'll be a lot of heavy equipment and a lot of dirt getting moved around and a waterway put in. So I will do a video series on that and give you guys the step-by-step as far as what's going on there. Second, I have lime ordered. I am on the list, but they said they were that busy and that backlogged that there was pretty many people ahead of me. So we'll be getting some lime, try to get some footage of that. I don't know when that's going to happen. I have some manure coming. I got some chicken manure, broiler manure. Guy had a surplus and didn't have anywhere to store it. Doesn't have a big farm. It's kind of a one of those big chicken operations with not much land and a lot of buildings. So he said a lot of guys aren't interested in it in the winter time because they don't have a place to store it until they can spread it. I said I have pretty many acres where they can dump piles. And this spring we're going to get it spread. So that'll help the soil and get the fertility levels up. So we got that going on. In between, while I'm waiting for the conservation guy to show up, I'm going to be putting these hooks on the bucket. So maybe I'll make this video about that. It's pretty straightforward. Just got to get these hooks on the bucket. I got 3 of them. Have to drill 6 holes through this bucket. So I have 3 power tool batteries. Don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll give it a try. What else? I got tires ordered for the rear of the 685. I think I have them ordered. I didn't pay for them yet. I showed you in past videos what's the matter with these. Probably have to have that done. I don't have a calcium pump and I don't want to be messing around with the pumping calcium. So I'll probably have Zimmerman Farm Service come up and do that. They'll change the 2 rear tires. So we got that going on. Still want to try to get to the farm show. I don't know what day that's going to happen. So, all right, what else? We got the lime coming, NRCS guy coming. We got chicken manure coming, and yeah. All right, we'll get into this video. All right, so the first hole's in. It's a 1/2-inch drill bit for these hooks, cut like butter right through the bucket here. Get your first bolt started so you have a kind of a guide. You have a little bit of play here to cheat if you're not quite centered. Make sure you put the hooks on the right way. Believe it or not, I worked with a guy who took the time to buy one of these hooks that you weld on, and he did a real nice job, real good weld, real good preparation. Only problem is he welded the hook backwards. It was facing, the opening was out here. So I said to him, what are you going to do? Push your chains. So he had to torch it all off and re-weld it on, and took him way longer than it should have, and in the end it wasn't as nice as his original. So at least with this you can flip them around if you have to when you bolt them on. Now one thing I will say, and I don't need to get into drill bits or how to drill a hole. You guys know how to drill a hole, but I am Pennsylvania Dutch. I am cheap with buying things. I don't like to spend a lot of money. A lot of the stuff is the same, just has different names on. But drill bits are not one of the areas where I will skimp. I buy drill bits. I try to buy the best brand I can, high quality drill bits. Drilling this hole through the bucket was like butter. The other thing with high quality drill bits is you can sharpen them. A lot of the cheaper ones, you can try to sharpen them and no good. They just won't hold an edge. The other thing is drill slow and lots of pressure. We've all seen the guy who has the drill wound up as high as can be. He's bearing down on the thing. It's at full blast. Has a cheap drill bit. The drill bit's squeaking. There's smoke pouring out of the steel. No good. Slow, steady pressure. Let it cut. It's designed to cut. You're not trying to punch a hole through. So we've all seen that guy. So yeah, just a note there. I'm gonna keep working at this then. Okay, we got one on, solid. Got the holes drilled, and got to tighten that one down. Anti-seize. And the way I'm doing it, you guys can do it any way you want, but I'm putting the bolts through and the nuts on the top. That way there's less of a chance if you're scooping anything corrosive, manure, anything like that. The nuts are on the top. All right, so we got 2 on. They're bolted down solid. Now my OCD is taking over. Got to put this next one exactly in the middle. Got 6 foot 1/2 inch. So the center of the hook I want to have 3 foot 1/4. So let me mark that and get that right in the center. Somebody had suggested using grade 8 bolts for these. These are only grade 5s. Yeah, I could. I got 2 grade 5s. You can look up the specs for the shear for a grade 5 bolt, but I have to remember this is only a 45 horsepower tractor, and this loader is only rated in that 1,500 to 2,000 pound range. I don't want to overlift with it. I don't want to encourage overlifting. It's probably gonna overlift, but and most equipment, depending on what you're lifting up, like let's say I was gonna load that John Deere rake when I sell it, I'm probably gonna have a chain on each hook. So you've got 4 grade 5 bolts, and that's enough. I mean, that'll hold it. If I had some grade 8s, yeah, I'd stick them in. I don't have them here. I'd have to go out and buy some. But that'll be fine. Like I say, not a big tractor, not a big loader. If I had a loader that was on a 100 some horsepower tractor and would lift 3,000 or 4,000 pounds, yeah, then I would beef it up. But don't want to encourage overlifting on this loader here. What else? I do have an antifreeze leak. I was hoping it was just something that was a little bit left over from taking it apart. That block heater in there is leaking. I have to figure out where and why. And if the block heater is bad, for the time being, we're just going to stick an elbow in to connect the 2 hoses, because it's nice to have a block heater. And there's the plug. But I do not have any electric down here, so it's not going to get used anyway. So I'll look into that, investigate that, but I can't have antifreeze leaking out of it here. So, all right, get the center one on yet. 1 battery dead. 2nd battery dead. All right, that'll work. 5/16 chain and 3/8 hooks. Still works. Should use a 3/8 chain, whatever. So that's that. Got them on, all 3 of them. Like I say, they should be pretty solid for this bucket. It's not a bulldozer. The other thing I was looking into, and maybe you guys have some experience, I don't think I'm going to go through all the trouble to put the quick attachment set up on. You can see this is a pinned bucket. It's pinned on. What I was thinking maybe is just getting a set of the clamp-on pallet forks. Again, have to be real careful clamping forks to the bucket. One nice thing with this bucket, it does have these gussets here to help hold it. And again, it's not a bulldozer. I'm not looking to lift heavy. I'll get a set of the 2,000 pound capacity forks that clamp on, and I can just stack some wood against, or some tin, or moving a tire around, anything like that, just to give you a little bit extra reach for your bucket. If you guys have any experience with them, I have used them before. They seem like they're more for compact tractors, but there's a whole selection of them, and they go up to even like 7,000 or 8,000 pound capacity. No sense getting anything that heavy. Like I said, I don't want to overlift with this. Even just to throw a log on or something, if you're out in the woods or out in the fence row and you want to push a log out of the way. They're pretty inexpensive, and I don't want to lift too heavy because I don't want to bend the bucket either. So if you guys used them, I was looking into them maybe. The other thing is, this tractor is very front heavy, you'll notice, with the loader hanging out on the front here, and it's just a little tractor. I have to get some weights for the back end. There's no wheel weights on. The tires have calcium in though. So I'm thinking of making a 3-point hitch counterweight, something to put on the back end. Not too much, just enough. Like I say, it's not a bulldozer, just a little 45 horsepower tractor. We're just gonna plow snow and do some odd jobs, lifting stuff around. So we'll get a weight made for the back, and should be good to go. Antifreeze leak. I got to check into the antifreeze leak, get that stopped, change the fuel filters finally. And the muffler is rusted fast on there. I can't get it off. And I did notice when I was out running around, it is blown out on the back side. It is blowing exhaust back towards you. So I think we're going to end up ordering a new muffler. It's kind of thin and rusty, so you can't really weld it shut. So I'm just going to take a chisel underneath and just chisel that steel away off of this muffler and put it on the scrap pile. So I'm going to look into that antifreeze leak now, and I'll end the video here. So thanks for watching, guys. And I got lucky here. This top hose clamp that seals on this block heater is stripped. I tighten it and it just keeps stripping out. You can see where it's running there. So lucky day, simple fix. A lot of thing I used to hear of with angry customers or going out on the road was people would say, well, what's wrong with it? And you'd say, well, I don't know yet. And they would say, well, you're the mechanic, you should know what's wrong with it. And that's typical for a lot of people that don't understand equipment. Mechanic work isn't always head knowledge, what's in your mind, what you know from past experiences. I mean, it plays into it. A lot of the older guys are like that. But I've known mechanics who've been mechanics for, I don't know, 25 years. And they still, they can offer some possibilities of what's wrong with it, but it's a lot more, being a mechanic is a lot more your ability to diagnose the problem. It's not so much as what, how should I say it, what you think is wrong, or what you can tell somebody is wrong with it. A lot of it is digging into it and finding out what's actually a matter. Just because you're a mechanic doesn't mean you can all of a sudden have inside information on something. It's just a lot of it is the skill and the ability to be able to diagnose a problem, to know where to start to diagnose to find a problem, and understanding how things work, and to know when something is abnormal, and so on. So a lot of you guys know that. Just an interesting story. I heard that a lot of times. You're the mechanic, you should know what's the matter with it. No, it's not always that way. We have to investigate, diagnose, and it may take a while till even the best mechanic in the world can find out what's the matter with stuff. So yeah, all right, I'll end the video here now. Thanks for watching.